Alright, Funk Doc back with some news. Continuing to follow up Mr. Darko's story here. This one is amazing. Ralph Peters calls for military killing of war journalists. This story itself is first posted May 26th this year. The editors behind neocon spank book Journal of International Security Affairs have truly outdone themselves by allowing a piece by conservative military writer Ralph Peters to pass into print that more or less advocates the indiscriminate murder of war journalists, who Peters refers to as the killers without guns. Ooh, they're the bad guys. While the essence of warfare never changes, it will always be about killing the enemy until he acquiesces in our desires or is exterminated. Its topical manifestations evolve and its dimensions expand. Today, the United States and its allies will never face a lone enemy on the battlefield. There will always be a hostile third party in the fight, but one which we not only refrain from attacking but are hesitant to annoy: the media. While this brief essay cannot undertake to analyze the psychological dysfunctions that lead many among the most privileged Westerners to attack their own civilizations and those who defend it, we can acknowledge the overwhelming evidence that, to most media practitioners, our troops are always guilty, even if proven innocent, while our barbaric enemies are innocent, even if proven guilty. The blood-drenched butchers who, given the opportunity, would torture and slaughter them disproves the notion, were any additional proof required, that human beings are rational creatures. Indeed, the passionate belief of so much of the intelligentsia that our civilization is evil and only the savage is noble looks rather like an anemic version of the self-delusions of the terrorists themselves. And of course there's a penalty for the intellectual's dismissal of religion. Humans need to believe in something greater than themselves, even if they have a degree from Harvard. Rejecting the God of their fathers, the neo-pagans who dominate the media serve as lackeys at the terrorists' bloody altar. Of course, the media have shaped the outcome of conflicts for centuries, from the European wars of religion through Vietnam. More recently, though, the media have determined the outcomes of conflicts, while journalists and editors ultimately failed to defeat the U.S. government in Iraq. Video cameras and biased reporting guaranteed that Hezbollah would survive the 2006 war with Israel, and as of this writing, they appear to have saved Hamas from destruction in Gaza. Pretending to be impartial, the self-segregating personalities drawn to media careers overwhelmingly take a side, and that side is rarely ours. Although it seems unthinkable now, future wars may require censorship, news blackouts, ultimately military attacks on the partisan media. Perceiving themselves as superior beings, journalists have positioned themselves as protected species combatants, but freedom of the press stops when its abuse kills our soldiers, strengthens our enemies. Such a view arouses disdain today, but a media establishment that has forgotten any sense of sober patriotism may find that it has become tomorrow's conventional wisdom. The point of all this is simple: win. In warfare, nothing else matters. If you cannot win clean, win dirty. But win. Our victories are ultimately in humanity's interests, while our failures nourish monsters. The things this motherfucker wrote, I don't even know where to start. This whole thing is exactly about how it's okay. Not only is he saying it's okay to kill, go out and get these military journalists because they're making us look bad, but he's also saying we shouldn't be telling the people anything. They shouldn't know their head from a hole in the ground that we made and blew up little kids with that hole. American people need to keep their eyes and ears and mouths shut. Basically, hear no evil, see no evil, speak no evil. Don't know anything about your government. Don't talk about it. They talk about how he's saying it's okay to do whatever we have to win. If that means raping a 14-year-old Iraqi girl in front of her family, murdering her family while you're raping her, and then killing her, going home to eat some chicken, we'll do it. Because they've done it. You need to check out a video called "What the MSM Doesn't Want You to Know About the War in Iraq." Look it up. There's talk about how a woman was put into a KBR, like Peace Corps, some horse shit. She got sent over to Iraq, and KBR, Kellogg Brown Rice, is a subsidiary of Halliburton, or was at this time. She got put in a bunk with like 3 other girls and like 100 some odd dudes. Within 4 hours of being there, they gave her a drug. Everybody raped her. When she went and reported it, they put her in a holding container with an armed guard. Is that what it takes to win the war in Iraq, Mr. Ralph Fuck Yourself Peters? All this military shit's really got me up in arms because they do these horrible things and then they say that it's our fault that they're losing because we're pointing the fingers at them. Well, if you weren't fucking everything sideways, we wouldn't be pointing the finger at you. If you were doing your goddamn job and bringing the troops home, and if the troops themselves weren't doing these horrible things, it wouldn't be a problem. We can't yell at you for shit you're not doing. Oh yeah, let's get rid of the media who's pointing the fingers at us and proving us to be assholes. No, not at all. The problem is for every good soldier that's over there, every solid, real human being that is carrying a gun and wearing those fatigues, you're making them look bad. By doing all these deplorable actions, and then saying these things, you're making the good, hard-serving Americans look like shit. You're even making the other countries' soldiers look like shit. Every one of our allies is starting to look like a bigger and bigger asshole because of the moves of these governments and the dickholes that write this shit. You know what, I'm not even going to name this as a side story to Donnie Darko's, to D Darko 2012, because I got out of hand on this one. Oh, I'm just mad about it. All these comments down here too, these are important. Because, I mean, you have, oh shit, I lost it. This one here apparently knows stuff about him. Oh, Peters is a fan of America, and because in that essay he argues America can do no wrong, since regardless of methods, everything we do is a net good to the world. He has nothing to worry about. They saying he was an intel officer and never served in combat. He calls the actual combat veterans in the Obama administration a bunch of war virgins because they aren't sufficiently bloodthirsty. Again, that's just a comment, I think. Well, that's from Joshua Faust writing at Registan about the article itself. We can't take it anymore. When things like this are being written, and when the National Guard is being deployed in Pittsburgh to watch for what did they say? To watch for domestic disputes. Let a guy in a goddamn Hummer with an M15, M16 hop out and tell me to stop arguing with my girlfriend. Are you kidding me? How far away is it before they have the right to make their own decision real quick? You're like, oh, you know, I called the police because my neighbor's pit bull bit my kid. And then they're like, oh, well, you know, since I'm judge, jury, and executioner now, blang, and he's going to shoot this dog right in front of your family before anybody has a thought about it. What about when a fight breaks out? A National Guard has to show up. You think people are going to get talked down the way some police have actually learned how to do? Or do you think there's going to be a shooting on the military's part? We're giving them too much power, and assholes like this are arguing for more. Put your hand in the air, people. This isn't right. Not at all. Not at all. Peace.